to all of those messengers that were raised. We greet you, dear beloved brothers and sisters, the greeting words of peace, the greeting written in the Quran, in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
And a strong black military we have raised to actually back and black the call for black power. What do you want?
Justice.
What do you want?
Justice.
And when do you want it?
Now.
And tell me how we're going to get it? What do we want?
Justice.
And when do we want it?
Now.
And tell me how we're going to get it?
By any means necessary.
Whose street?
Our street.
Whose street?
Our streets.
Whose land?
Our land.
Whose land?
Our land.
So we find that justice has not trickled down as they wanted the economic trickle down, the reparations to trickle down. The justice has not been delivered here to Fairfax County.
That's right.
I have in-depth experience in Fairfax County, as for one period of time I was a chaplain, a volunteer chaplain here at the Fairfax, which is a few miles, about 3 miles away from here. But they have never welcomed anything that was helpful to the black people, to people who were not rising middle class and above. It caters to a certain class and a certain caste system. There's a caste, C-A-S-T, meaning rank by, could perhaps be race, or your economic status will gain you some option of gaining some form of justice. But if you're talking divine justice, it has never been delivered, especially to the black people. They don't know about Freedman Cemetery. It's right on the corner of Alexandria, where there are on record 25,000 black people in a massive grave after slavery. They don't talk to you about the lynching of black men in Fairfax. Fairfax meaning fair-skinned or fair-faced people.
Teach.
Fair meaning that it is on the lighter side of darkness. And it would go anywhere from high yellow, what they say, all the way to pink. And then you live in Fairfax as a what? Black by choice. It started as Negro by choice. And blacks own nearly this entire county. And I'm here to tell you, the Fairfax, the Clarks, the Paynes, the Marshalls, others own Tyson's Corner. All of that you call Potomac Mills owned by the Banks family. They had the big junkyards and other things that were going on here. But it started again from the Congress. The congressional school is right between. I used to drive the congressional school bus right here in Fairfax County. The Thurgood Marshall Memorial Highway is right between the bushes there. And I'm just telling you straight up that they never intended for black people to receive or attain any form of liberation, any form of justice at all. They wanted to keep the good old boy. You go to the Robert E. Lee School, the George Marshall School, the Thurgood Marshall, they suppressed it and kept it on the highway while the big memorial was given to Stonewall Jackson, the big highway, Jefferson Davis Highway. All these Confederates put this in after 1921. You got black power?
Black
power.
Black power.
So the history here in the Commonwealth of Virginia is a history of enslavement, of African black plantation enslavement.
That's right.
The full intent was slavery, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, 100%. They have not backed down, not even one decibel, not one syllable have they left out of their plan for enslavement. Because they have the grand wizards of all white nationalism, Donald the Duck Trump, to back up their call for African black plantation slavery. They don't want modernization anywhere within a few hundred miles of Fairfax. They don't want any form of black rise where the white man causes to demise. They don't want that formula working here in Fairfax County.
Right. That's right.
And if you black, stand black.
Teach.
All right. If you brown, you might hang around. And if you're yellow, you mellow, huh?
That's right.
But if you're black, stand back. And we want you, and if you're white, you're right. If you brown, stick around. If you're yellow, you mellow. If you're tan, you can. But goddamn it, if you black, stand back. Black power?
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
And a strong black military to black the call for black power. So we just wanted to open this up today to let you know that African black plantation slavery is alive and well here in Fairfax County. The enforcement of white law, as the Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad teaches us, that white law runs directly into a conflict with black law. And black law uproot and overturns white law. Because the black law is the original law.
Teach,
and
Imam.
you have witnessed Thurgood Marshall.
Teach.
You have witnessed the Honorable Martin Luther King Jr. uproot and overturn the law. You can't vote because you're black. You can't sit on the park bench because you're those laws and concepts and say you can specifically vote because you're black. Everybody, including Wooden Tooth, Donald Trump is looking for a black vote some kind of way on it. And then another Wooden Tooth Negro, James Clyburn, will go and take all of the black votes and deliver them to another Wooden Tooth
Let me hear from these
person, Joe Biden, the vice president. He should take those votes and deliver them to black people for black self-government, black power. Black power.
Let me hear these two men. Let me hear these two
Dr.
men.
Frederick Douglass said that what? Avoid your exclusion, but have participation in your own black government.
Let me hear these
black
two
power.
Black power.
And we want to bring our beloved brother who has struggled to get here today, but he made it. And we want to bring forth Brother Elijah of the Black Power movement and the Hebrew community. Black power. Black power.
Black power.
Peace, family. How you doing today?
Peace, family.
I don't hear you. I said, peace, family. How you doing today?
Peace.
I know it's hot, but the Lord has made it hot for a reason because we're hot and we're bothered and we're upset about what's going on. I already know the people behind me understand what's going on, but I'm speaking directly to the people on the camera. Right now, I need the people on the camera to understand this is a call for you to get from behind the camera, get from behind your houses, get from underneath the rock and realize what is going on in 2020. Realize the Exodus is taking place and we're being called as black people, the original children of Israel, to come out of this Babylonian world that we're living in. We understand what's going on. Everybody understands what's going on. History repeats itself, but why must that be if you're going to stand up and fight against oppression? Fight against the society that we're living in. See, these are militant brothers and sisters behind me, but we need the people that's in different positions of power to start moving their positions of power wisely. And when I say that, I'm talking to the melanated brothers and sisters specifically, because we don't know who's an agent and who's not. So I'm not going to trust the other complexion too much because I already seen what the other complexion can do. So with that being said, I'm calling on y'all to stand up. I'm a millennial. I'm technically a centennial if you want to get serious. But I'm calling upon the brothers and sisters around my age group to get ready. To get ready for a time like this. To get ready and prepare yourselves for 2021, 2022, and the years that might potentially come. Because while we're living in a time like this and we're living in a society like this, the elders has been fighting our war for us for too long, and we're no longer babies. Take your diaper off and take the pacifier out your mouth and get ready to stop being internet gangsters and start actually getting out here and putting some fire behind what we're doing. We got enough brothers and sisters out here putting their lives on the line all the time. So I need my brothers and sisters that are behind the keyboards and always want to retweet and do a cancel culture, start canceling being behind your house all the time. Actually get out. Actually get out and do something. That means if you got to push legislation, push legislation. If you got to talk about coming out of the nation, come out of this nation then. I don't want to keep hearing people talk about presidents. I don't want to hear people talk about politics too long. I want people to talk about holding the oppressors accountable for what they've been doing for over 500 years. I want to hear people talk about the fact that people don't pray enough. They don't worry about their mental health enough. I need to hear about that because we don't even hear that enough. I need people seeking counsel because we don't even seek counsel at a time like this. So for my confused brothers and sisters, I only say to this, I love you, and I love you because you're confused. I love you because you're my people, and I love you because you understand right now is a crazy time. But I also want to say this, be alert and unite yourself with people that are like-minded and that are ready for war. Unite yourself with the people that are serious. Unite yourself with people that are ready to fight for your cause. Because at the end of the day, we can't be on autopilot for too long until you crash the ship. And right now, this ship is crashing. It is firing and it's going down. So I got to ask you, do you got a flotation device or do not? Can you swim or can you drown? Because right now, I'm surrounded by a bunch of swimmers. Right now, I'm surrounded by a bunch of people that say they want to build a new ship and take that ship right up to the island. So if you're riding on that island with us, I'm calling you out, and I'm calling you out for a good cause. Again, my name is Elijah Divine. We are all divine by design. God bless and God speed.
Black power, black power, black power. Let me hear Tyler. Then you come out and you wrap it up.
Freedom or death.
You wrap it up with your eloquence.
Freedom of death, Black Power. But the Taliban Tunde Fred Hampton movement, Black Power.
Black power.
Black Power.
Black power.
So, I don't really do too much talking a lot of the time. So, what's on my heart is I know that a lot of our brothers and sisters are probably educated on a lot of things that they need to be educated on. So I encourage our brothers and sisters to start picking up books, start studying into your history, start looking at what's going on around you. What you think of conspiracies are not really conspiracies. We talk about experimentations being done on black people. We're being attacked on two different fronts right now. We're being attacked by the police and we're being attacked by biological warfare on several different fronts, from the drugs to the COVID-19. If you go back and you look at the history of slavery, they was already taking slaves and segregating them and infecting them on purpose just so that they can use them as tests so that they can make their lives longevity. So what we need to do is start being careful and start watching what they do to us in these hospitals and start researching different things on our own. And right now, they're saying that black people got the highest rate of COVID-19.
That's right.
They're testing on us right now. We have to be sharp. We have to be vigilant. I know that there's a stigma when it comes to our health, but we need to really be careful about that and go to black physicians that we trust and start being up to date on medicines and different things like that. They put mercury in different things. Black women, you need to be careful when it comes to breast milk because they put mercury in that to try to kill your children off. Black babies have the highest rate, 2 times higher rate than white babies dying before the age of 1 year old. We have to be careful about that. Black women have the highest depression rate in the whole United States. Start comforting your daughters at an early age. Start telling them that you love them, hug them, don't yell at them, don't put your hands on them.
Teach.
You know, don't abuse them, don't curse at them. We have to be mindful of the language that we use around our youth.
That's right.
Because the youth is the future. And if we
That's
destroy them at an early age, we have nothing to look forward to. So we wanted to figure out how we change our future. We start with the youth and we start with them first. Start teaching them who they are, because a lot of times we stop at 400 years of slavery and that's as far as we go. We have to go further than just 400 years. We was kings, physicians, teachers.
Teach, Atunde. Teach, black man.
And we have to make sure that that's not where our education stops at, because when they look back, they don't see a future. All they see is destruction and chaos, and we got to change that so that they know that their future is brighter than that.
Let me ask you a direct question. Can a black militia be built in Virginia?
Most definitely.
Should it, and can it?
It should and it can, and
Why?
it's coming.
Why? Why and how?
Why now?
Why?
Because this is the time that we need to defend our communities, our families, and the ones that are close to us, to our black businesses, to our communities, and we need to start policing ourselves because we know what's good for us. We know what we love. We're people of rhythm. We're people of love. And we understand how we act. So when they come to our communities, a lot of them don't know our community. So we'll be able to interact with each other better than somebody else. I'm not scared of the brother with the baggy jeans and the baggy shirts and the scarves and the tie. I used to grow up like that. So that doesn't bother me, because I know clothes do not make a person. You can have $1 million suit on, but that doesn't make you better than the person standing next to you.
That's right.
So if we take time out to talk to these youth and these young brothers around us, we'll be able to understand that they are intellectually smart.
Teach.
And they can push us further than what we are, but we silence our youth entirely too much. So back to the black militia, I think that we should own a firearm for far too long. The media has pushed what black people are with guns. All we see is violence on TV. All we hear is violence in the music. And if you get your kids and you start with your kids at a young age and teach them that it's not the guns that kill people, it's bad people with guns that kill people.
That's right.
And that's what we need to start training our kids at a young age and change the narrative on what a black man with a gun is, because even without a weapon, your skin alone is a weapon.
That's right.
Hey, let's you got to say something before we go. You straight? Come on, it's an army of preachers out here. Ain't no shortage of preachers out here.
The Al Sharpton Network and the Community Action Network, the president of the region, want to bring Sister Nia 2X.
Here,
The
hold this
general
for me.
of
Let
VLB
that go.
Productions.
To this thing. Salam alaikum, Black Power.
Black power.
Sister structure, Black Power.
Black power.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
I want to say thank you first and foremost to Allah, the God of the gods. I want to also thank another God, our brother, attorney, the lawyer, the warrior lawyer, the soldier, and that is attorney, brother Malik, or should I say doctor, attorney, wrong, brother, doctor, attorney, Malik, Zulu, Shabbat.
All right, then.
Make no mistake about it. Our brother is standing with the greater DC chapter of the National Action Network because he is representing black lawyers
That's
for
right.
justice.
All right.
Now you got a lot of forces out here that may seem or really do have different philosophies. We have different methods to get to God's justice. We have different roads to travel to God's justice, but we're going to the same goal.
That's right.
And that's God's justice. The enemy didn't ever want to see the black power movement stand with the civil rights movement.
That's right.
The enemy has always pushed out disunity. And for years and centuries, we bought into it. Back in the day, if you wasn't a Christian, you wasn't listening to no Muslim. If you was a Muslim, you wasn't trying to listen to a Hebrew.
That's right.
But this is a new day. And this is a day and a call for our unity. We are babies in this movement calling for unity because we really don't know how to unify, but we're learning. And this is an example of the greater DC chapter. We are representing our great leader, the Reverend Dr. Al
All
Sharpton,
right now.
That's right.
who we know is headed toward
All
that
right.
road for justice. And the method that he is following is called a nonviolent method. But we are not angry. We are not upset at our brothers and sisters who found another road to get to the same goal.
That's right.
We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to disagree. And if we do, it'll be in respect, where we can learn and respect each other's differences and still understand, as my good friend, brother, doctor, attorney Malik Zulu Shabbat.
All right, say it all.
That's right. That's right. That's
Say
right.
it all.
A long time ago.
Go ahead.
in Arkansas,
Go
He
ahead.
said there's one enemy, one destiny. I'm sorry. He said there's one enemy, one destiny, not enemy. One aim.
Make it plain.
One aim.
Marcus Messiah Garvey. Go ahead.
One destiny and one enemy.
Yes.
And that's what every group has in common. We all have the same enemy. That's right. And the enemy is racism and white
All
supremacy.
right.
That's
All
right.
right.
Make it
This
plain.
is the system that must be destroyed.
Say it.
Destroyed. I don't care if you're a politician, if you are a non-politician, if you're not educated, if you're black,
That's right. Teach.
that's what they are
Say it.
concerned with. So we stand boldly
All right.
with black lawyers
Say
for
it.
justice.
Yes.
We
That's
stand in joy
All right.
with black lawyers for justice.
Right.
Now, if you don't see me coming back with black power, it's because I respect our leader, Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton.
Say it.
And you gotta watch sometimes how the camera flip things and
Teach.
do things and make it seem another way when it's not that way. But today, I'm representing Reverend Dr. with the nonviolent approach to God's justice. And don't get it wrong, that brother's from Brooklyn.
All right.
He ain't no chump. That's right. He is continuing the work of the late, great, assassinated Dr. Martin Luther
Say
King
it.
Jr.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we all know he stood for nonviolence. But he also stood on the stage with Stokely Carmichael,
Yes,
better
he
known
did.
as Kwame Ture.
That's right.
Who
Right.
yelled it loud, black
That's
and
right.
brown.
Clear.
Black
Clear.
power. And Dr. King was right beside him. So we're going to be with black lawyers for justice. We want to find out about the excessive use of deadly force. We want to know what the investigation overturned and revealed when it comes to systemic racism within the department. We want to understand and find out and then move against
All right.
if it is found to be wrong that this community is not represented, the black citizens and the people of color are not represented fairly. Yes, we want to know.
That's
and we're
right.
going to stand right with black lawyers
Yeah.
for justice.
That's right.
Every step of the way.
All right.
Doing our method.
That's right.
But at the same time,
Say it.
respecting the methods of our soldiers. Now I'm going to end it right here. Personally, you need soldiers.
That's right.
You need soldiers.
That's right.
Right.
You need men and women who are ready to do what they need to do if it is necessary.
That's right.
If the neighborhood is overrun with Klan members and bald-headed other members, whatever they call themselves, skinheads.
Yes.
Huh? You think you can depend on our police department?
That's right.
No, you
No.
can depend on the brothers and the sisters behind me and our comrades with the new Black Panther Party, with Black Lawyers for Justice, and with everybody else that understands self-defense is a right by
right.
God.
That's right.
Even in the self-defense movement
That's right.
and the nonviolent movement. Don't put your hands on me.
That's
right.
right.
That's
All right.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
How do we want it?
By any means necessary.
How do we want it?
By any means necessary.
How do you find the Fairfax Police Department?
Guilty.
How do you find them on excessive force?
Guilty.
How do you find them on abusing black people?
Guilty.
How do you find them on discrimination?
Guilty.
How do you find them on violating our human rights?
Guilty.
How do you find them on tasering Brother Lamont?
Guilty.
How do you find them on being a confederacy?
Guilty.
How do you find them on being a white supremacist institution?
Guilty.
How do you find them on systemic racism?
Guilty.
And we the people, we have more power than you can recognize. But we got to keep coming together.
That's right.
We have to come out and participate. We have to come out and be a part of the sacrifice that is needed in order to gain what is rightfully ours.
That's right.
We were born under God.
Right.
And it was racism and white supremacy that took it from us.
Talk to
So
us.
That's
we
right.
got to get it back.
All right.
And we can get it back. In your way, my way, his way, their way, it'll be the right way when we get to the top of that hill of God's justice. Too many people have been killed striving to get to God's justice. So keep uniting. Keep respecting each other's differences. But we the same soldiers locked in the same struggle because it was one aim, one
God.
destiny, and one enemy. And that's racism and white supremacy.
All right, it's strong. Let me say one thing
Yes.
here.
Yes, sir.
Let me say one thing here before we depart. We
Hey,
have to
go ahead.
organize. We must organize. We must what? We
Organize.
must what?
Organize.
If you want to be a member here on this line here, go on the line. If you want to be a member, if you want to help Black Lawyers for Justice, if you're a lawyer, a law student, or anybody that wants to pursue the legal avenues against police brutality, say so right here on the chat room. If you want to join the new Black Panther Party who is organizing here all over America, say so right here in the chat room. We'll put you in touch with the new Black Panther Party. If you want to join our great sisters and brothers, my family here in the National Action Network, which I've said around the country is doing a great work during the police demonstrations. They're bailing people out of jail. They're on the front line. I'm telling you, they answer the bell. They answer the bell. They answer the bell. If you want to become a member of the National Action Network, say so right here. If you want to be a member of the Fred Hampton Gun Club, and again, the new Black Panther Party and the growing black defense groups who are here to defend our Second Amendment rights and expand our rights in this environment, say so right here in the chat room, because we believe in organizing. Thank you for tuning in. Man, I love y'all. We got to keep the fight going forward. It's a team of all-stars, of legends out here.
And also,
Ain't you on? Did you on?
and
Did
also,
you
brother,
speak?
also,
Go ahead.
brother,
You bring us on out.
also, brother, Devon McNeil.
Please. What you say?
Strong black
The young
activist,
brother that was killed
Brother
11 years
Silver,
old.
to you. And he ain't holding
We want to
back.
say the Black Power movement
I
also.
believe so. They did it to us on purpose, and they did it to us again and again and again. And this right here, this is the slave maker and the slave breaker. And we got to organize the peacemakers against a warmonger.
Teach
And I
Dynamite.
learned that from Sheikh Imam Akbar Bilal, Chief of Staff of New Black Panther Party. We want to thank our brother Dr. Malik Zul Shabazz for always
pulling it together. He will stand and fight, even if it's by itself. I've seen him do it.
Appreciate y'all.
Black power. Black power. Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power. As it was in the days of Noah, as it was in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah,
Teach.
as it was in the days of Jonah, the ark has been shut, and now the rain is falling. Judgment has come, no longer stalling. The floodgates of the deep have opened its mouth.
Come on.
And
Keep going,
and now
man.
there's simply no way out. The night has come, no more mirth. Darkness comes and carpets the earth. The angels of judgment await. Wretched men standing at the door, having been blinded, looking, searching for salvation, but they cannot find it. Unfinished urban projects, steel girders swaying in the wind, because for the descendants of slaves, you made no provisions. And now in America, the greatest military the world has ever seen, and she still won't complain. America, the greatest military, the armies, her navies, her air force, her marines, and now all of our military might is defenseless against this death angel. And from a thin thread, she now dangles, as it was in the days of Noah, as it was in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, as it was in the days of Jonah.
So shall it be.
The ark has been shut, and now the rain is falling. Judgment has come, no longer stalling. The earth is flooding. The floodgates of the deep have opened its mouth, and now there's simply no way out. The night has come, no more mirth, as darkness comes and carpets the earth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Black
Thank
power.
you.
Thank you.